Yo, everybody, what's up? Are you ready for another deluxe video game jukebox stream where we listen to the Patreon picks? What's up, Abkin, Gaff Waff, Tommy, Tom Sai? What's up, guys? Today we have another nice selection of tracks from our patrons. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you in particular ready, Abkin? Do you think you're ready at least? Because I assure you, you are not. So, should we start? We have a list today that looks like this. Abkin says, I'm not ready. At least you admit that you're not ready. Apple Juice, what's up, Apple Juice? Raphael, what's up? Yeah, we're gonna listen to some more Patreon picks today. Locus says, I hope I got my entry in time. You did. Your entry got in. Your entry got in. I read your message just before starting the stream. Elise is here. Ellis, bro man, what's up? What's up, guys? How are you? How was your week? How was everybody's week? Brad Warden, what's up? Yeah, this one is the first track of the day. The House. I've never heard of this game. The House in Fata Morgana is a track called Tarantula. It's the first track of the day. But before we start listening, how are you guys? Anything cool? Anything exciting happened this week? Dude, this week was really cool. I was composing a track this week, and man, for this game that I'm composing for, I think is the track that I composed that had the biggest reaction from the devs. They all liked it a lot, so that was cool. They were all in Discord like saying nice things about it, so that was cool this week. Alt account leaked under playlist title. I mean, it's not a secret. Greg, what's up, Greg? Dude, it's so hot today. I'm gonna crank my AC up. I think we should start. We don't need games for Davi moments. That was not a Davi moment. So let's start with the House in Fata Morgana. I have no idea what to expect from this. The image here that I'm looking at, can you guys see this? This image here reminds me a lot of Castlevania. Let's see if the music is going to be Castlevania-like. Vocals. Triple beat meter. Abkin says games went soon. Very minimalistic. Oh, cool. Man, there's something to these vocals. Okay, now it might be looping. It almost sounds, when the vocals got fuller, there's almost like a live recording feel to it. Of course, there are real vocals that were recorded for real, but it sounds to me like the whole ensemble of vocalists were recorded like in one take. There's a kind of one take feel to it. It feels very organic and live. Why's your YouTube in Japanese? Because I'm learning Japanese. I'm practicing Japanese on YouTube. And Abkin asked before, games went. There's a chance I'll die from old age before we get back into gaming. I think I'm gonna take this month off. I mean, I don't talk too much about personal stuff here, But man, I've been tired. I've been I was talking about this with Giovanni on his stream this week. I've been working. I've been working 6 days a week, long hours, for 4 years straight. And I mean, that catches up to you. That's a consequence of that period where I was building this house and like working like crazy to make money and dumping all my savings into the house. But recently I went to the doctor, and we found some things. It's not nothing like serious. It's just some stomach issues. Again, nothing serious, nothing uh, even painful, but it's likely stress related and like uh, overexertion, overworking related. So man, I really want to stream games. You guys wouldn't believe how much I want to stream games. The Super Nintendo is set up right now, right here to my right. Uh, but then I don't know. I feel like it's best to take it easy. At least for this month. And I've been enjoying it, man. I've been enjoying like having my Saturdays. Ulcers is not. I don't know if that's the right word. And also I don't want to talk about it because it's personal. But it's something like that, and it's nothing serious. But it's it's just something that makes it clear that I have to take it easy a little bit. But anyway, let's go back to the song. Um, let's listen to the rest of it. Demonstrate us your Mega Man X skills, I will. Soon. I think it's looping now. And the 3-beat measure gives it a waltz kind of feeling. Yeah, this vocals, man. The tiny imperfections in the vocals. Dude, listen to this. They are singing out of tune. They're singing out of tune, and I feel like it's on purpose to be like unsettling. Portuguese is my native language, and I didn't recognize any of this. Such an intriguing track. It's what I was saying before. There's that feeling that this was recorded like very much live in like one take kind of thing. And the small imperfections, the small moments where they sing out of tune a little bit, or out of tempo a little bit, they add like something eerie to the track. Yeah, it's supposed to be unsettling. Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. And it's unsettling, but also it's in triple beat meter. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Listen to how out of tune this is. It's unsettling, and the triple beat meter makes it lively and playful, which is a disturbing combination, right? A disturbing combination. Something eerie but playful, right? It's definitely an unsettling song. Unusual time signature. I mean, the time signature is normal, like it's 3. I would say the time signature is unusual for the kind of eerie vibe that the track has, because triple beat meter is usually for dancey, lively songs, right? I love you mentioning tiny imperfections, and then the performance like intentionally falls apart. Yeah, yeah, it's like they're trying to imitate what would normally be considered something very regal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yosu is here. Did I say hi to you, Yosu? I don't remember. But is this really Portuguese? Let me listen again. I don't recognize any of this. If this is really Portuguese, it might be Portuguese being sung by non-native Portuguese speakers. Maybe, I don't know, the developers, they went like, oh, what is an exotic language we can choose for our creepy song? Oh, Portuguese. And then it's being sung by people that don't know how to speak it. Yeah, I can't understand anything. Yeah, Greg says it doesn't sound Portuguese. I didn't recognize a single word in that. We caught the fake Portuguese. Yeah, dude, intriguing song. Intriguing. Very, very unique. I've never heard of this game. But I guess we go to the next track. Next track is Earthbound. I've heard the entire Earthbound soundtrack. But I've never played the game. Never played the game. Yeah, Earthbound. Earthbound. So let's go. Pokey means business. I said I heard the entire soundtrack, but I don't remember it very well, and I don't know which track this is. This is really good, but there's something intriguing about this. I don't remember this one. I don't remember it. Yeah, retro sounds. Oh, okay, yeah. I was waiting for it to switch, because that sound, that kind of retro sound, is not characteristic from the Super Nintendo. That's what I was noticing. They made an NES song in the Super Nintendo. This is more like Super Nintendo. Wow, this is trippy, man. The rhythm. Oh. I don't remember this one. Do you guys think I should play this game? It's such a legendary game. I've never played it. I mean, this has to be some sort of boss theme, right? Did they change the key in the middle of the arpeggio at the beginning? I wasn't paying attention to key. I was mostly paying attention to the rhythm. It keeps changing. The rhythm, the time signature keeps changing. Cellmate says this game is definitely high on my recommendations list. The boss involved with this track is crazy. No spoilers, guys. Crazy sounds. What is even this rhythm? What year is this from, I wonder? Because this kind of like drumming with double kick drum. This kind of drumming was really big in Japan during the 90s. Bands like Halloween and Angra were really popular in Japan at that time. Brawlman says, I think it's worth at least giving it a go. There's a few dated aspects in the gameplay, but the writing and atmosphere are amazing. The thing that gets my attention about this the most is, first of all, the NES section at the beginning. Very uncharacteristic. If you were not alive during the Super Nintendo, you might not notice that this music here at the beginning is not Super Nintendo music. This sounds like NES music. So why would they make NES music on purpose on a Super Nintendo? That's very intriguing. And nowadays, you wouldn't think twice if you heard NES music in an indie game, for example, because nowadays that stuff is retro, right? There's value to it, there's nostalgia to it. But during this era, NES music wasn't retro, it wasn't like cool, it was just obsolete, right? 1994. Yeah. So NES music was something from like 3-4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago in that time, right? Apple Juice says, I think it would be a fun stream game. So yeah, very intriguing that they would choose NES music. And then the second thing that gets my attention the most about this is the constant changes in the tempo. I already guessed that this is a boss. You guys confirmed it for me. It's basically Undertale's father. I've heard about that. So the constant switches in the rhythm that come after the NES part make me think it's a really unsettling boss. They want to make you uncomfortable. It's unsettling, unpredictable, probably an unpredictable boss, I would say. Yeah, then this starts 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to catch some of the tempo changes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna start to change. 1, 2, 3, 4. Changed? What even is this time signature? 1, 2. It changed twice there in a short time. Cellmate says uncomfortable is putting it lightly. Manacy says it's interesting to consider it less as a nostalgia thing and more of NES music is what people would be familiar with from the past. Oh, interesting. So maybe it's like trying to almost get you to lower your guard to it. It's familiar, it's recent. You know where it's going, and then it slaps you across the face. Interesting. Yeah, just a way to give it a whiplash kind of effect, right? Cool. Dude, what an unpredictable track. And there's these parts where it's just drums and bass. Wex says, I know this song from a Deltarune fan game. Raspberry's here. Hey, Raspberry. How are you? Did you have a good week, Raspberry? And Super Nintendo electric guitars are so charming, right? Do you know this, Raspberry? Yeah, it's a banger. is a banger. I might even use the banger emoji. Yeah, so let's go to the next one. The next one is Omori. And I've heard this track before. I think more than once. Cellmate says, I hate to leave early, but I gotta get ready to head out for your birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Cellmate. Happy birthday. BBQ, bro. Yeah, I remember this. Birthday. Man, the violin is so good on this. Yeah, harpsichord. Whoa. Apkin says, this is a certified banger, the first one for me in this stream. It switches between, I mean the dance beat is always there, but aside from that, it switches from a more classical piano, harpsichord, violin kind of approach, and a more synthy approach sometimes. Zyra says, Omori has a solid OST. Vanica is here. Hey Vanica, what's up? I didn't see you there. Yeah, that's the synthy approach. Unrelated also, but Davi, props for saying my name right first try. Too bad I don't remember how I said it. Manasees is how I would say it. Apkin says, speaking of OST, I don't see any. It's because I mean, there's not much reason to be a member right now because I'm not doing gaming streams yet. The emojis and stuff are more fun for gaming streams, and when I'm back to doing gaming streams, I'm going to like properly announce the memberships, because that's the other thing I haven't even told people. You Abkan, you and Yosu just found out by yourselves last stream. I didn't even tell people about it. When I'm back to doing gaming streams, I'm probably gonna do like a small, even if it's very small, a little members goal for the first few streams, just so we catch up to the number of members that we had in the gaming channel. I'm campaigning for ST because I need my favorite ones. Which one do you want added next, Abkin? Which emoji? I mean, I know which one I want next, but I want to see if it's the same as yours. Pro gamer detectives. I was about to say defectives, but detectives. There's probably a Freudian slip. You probably want substantial one. No, the one that I want is the he one. Is the Davi alternate version, smiling. It's probably the funniest one. He also says bonk or substantial are equally good. Yeah, but anyway, dude, I've heard this track before, the Omori one. But honestly, someone said it in the chat. But it's so good. Like it keeps surprising me, even though I've heard it before. I didn't remember how beautiful the violin was. I didn't remember that. As soon as the dance beat started and the harpsichord started, I did remember that. The violin I didn't remember, and then the synthy parts, very frantic and intense. I didn't remember that. Apkin says he was the one that was just taking a slot temporarily. Yeah, that emoji, right? It was supposed to be temporary. I just found it abandoned in one folder in my PC. Yeah, I want to listen to the violins again. I don't know. I don't know Omori. Is this a boss theme? It's so intense. It sounds like it has to be a boss theme. Secret boss, yeah. Menacy says, I mean, I don't want to, but I should go to bed. Bye-bye, Menacy. Thank you for joining. Yeah, the violin's not real. At least it doesn't sound real to me. It sounds like a digital sample. And it almost sounds to me like kind of Wind Waker violin. But it's nice. It sounds video gamey. Yeah, this reminds me of Eurobeat. Super intense, super chaotic. Little interlude. Yeah, he keeps alternating between classical. Tense chord, tense chord. Now the song is resting, home chord. Wow, it's very disturbing. Now I'm taking the time to actually pay attention to the harmony. And it's very disturbing. Here, for example, they're alternating between a home chord and a disturbing chord. They keep doing... Sam says you should do more Act 3 song. Oh, for Silk Song, you mean? Which Silk Song reactions would you like, Sab? Because I feel like I've done most of them. Cool. Now it's looping. Super intense. Next up is A Hat in Time. And this is Electro Swing. Wasn't that recent Pokemon music I did a video on also Electro Swing? That was probably my first time hearing that genre. Did we cover Lost Lace? Yes. That's the final boss, right? Theme. The final boss theme. Vanica says, this is my track. The A Hat in Time one? Cool. Yeah, Greg says there's a sense of duality between chaos and rest. Yeah, not only you're talking about the previous song, right? The Omori one. Not only because of the alternating between home chord and disturbing chord, but also they keep alternating between classical instruments and synthy instruments, right? That's a good observation. Yeah, so let's listen to A Hat in Time, Train Wreck of Electro Swing. Very synthy, as expected. Oh, this is a remix. Ah, interesting. Sam says Scar Singer Carmelita and Lost Lace. I've done both of them. I've done both of them already. Beast Metropolis. Oh, that's the original song, right? Beast Metropolis. Oh no, you're talking about the Toho one. Okay. I thought you were talking about the original song because this is a remix, right? Abkin says circus. Yeah, especially the bass. The bass gives that kind of circus vibe. The bouncy bass. I'm curious now to hear how the original track sounds. Flex says, hey Flex, I didn't see you there. Had in Time's a cool game. Good homage to old games like Mario 64 Sunshine. This kind of bouncy bass is something I talked about in a recent Mugenics track. The bass that keeps going do 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 do. Not only it sounds dancey and fun, there's also almost like a simpleton, like a simplistic kind of quality to it. I don't know exactly why. Maybe it is exactly because it's very used in country music. But it gives it not only a fun, playful vibe, but it sounds kind of dumb in the most positive sense that you can use the word dumb, I guess. Like it sounds like circus, like someone said. Sounds clownish, I guess, is a better word. I haven't, like I said, I haven't heard the original track of this, but if I had to guess, I'll probably say that the bass, the bouncy bass, is also in the original because it feels like such a core part of the song. Tom Sai says maybe Davi should do a live stream listening to the Silk Song OST. Haven't I done that? I don't remember. I don't remember if I've done that. Definitely got a silly vibe to it. Yeah. I think an overlooked part of electro swing in general. I mean, I'm not an electro swing specialist. I've heard a grand total of 2 electro swing tracks in my life. But they both have this in common, which is something I don't see a lot of people mentioning. Which is kind of this kind of jazzy syncopation to it. There's very like complex little syncopation, little rhythms to it. In case you don't know or you forgot, syncopation just means you're emphasizing weird beats in the song. Usually in rhythm, you always expect the emphasized beat to be the one, or the downbeat as we call it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. These are the strong beats as we call them. In syncopation, you emphasize beats that are not the strong beats, so you get these weird, quirky rhythms. Right? Sounds a little like ragtime. Exactly. I think I said that in the Jacinthe battle theme Pokemon reaction. I think I mentioned exactly ragtime. It did remind me of it. There's a ragtime aspect about it, just without the piano, that is characteristic of ragtime. Venica says next time I'll request the original. Right, that'll be cool. That'll be cool. Now with the new Patreon format, you can request it pretty soon actually. I'm gonna collect suggestions again at the start of the next month. So I guess this is a good time to advertise the Patreon. Oh, I think it's looping now. The melody's so silly. Yeah, guys, in case you were just airdropped in the stream and you don't know what's going on, these are Patreon picks, all of them. And now in our Patreon, you can suggest music for these live streams, and we're doing them every week. And these are guaranteed requests, so it's very cool. I was bothered for a long time, like the people here in the chat that have been in the Patreon for a long time can attest to this. Like I did surveys to ask people what I should do. I did a bunch of things because I was bothered with the old format of the Patreon. Because the old format of the Patreon was very random. Like you would pay money to have a chance, right, to get your track chosen. So I rebuilt the Patreon like structure almost from scratch, and now you have guaranteed song requests, which is this. You pay the money, you do the request, I listen to them here, so it's cool. The link is in the description if you're interested. The original is actually quite different. I would actually be really fun to see the comparison. That would be cool. Fair says how to request. You have to be on Patreon. The link is in the description. If you get on Patreon and request, there's still time to get in next week's stream. We do these streams every week. And sometimes they do these little... This is something that they had in Just Cynthia as well. Just Cynthia battle theme. Sometimes they put... It almost sounds like they put a filter over the song. Make it a little more quiet. Almost like a radio kind of speaker kind of effect. Look. See, the song sounds muffled. I think just because it's such a synthy kind of overproduced kind of music style, they use all these kinds of studio tricks. Will there be more old format streams with super chat requests or votes? Yes. I mean, the old streams didn't change. They're still gonna happen. And actually, I said to someone that if they get on Patreon, they can request for next week's stream. But I believe next week's stream is the last Friday of the month, right? Yeah, it's the last Friday of the month. So that means there's no Patreon stream next week. As per usual, the last Friday of the month is the stream that everyone can participate, be it either capitalism or democracy. And I think this month is capitalism. Yeah, it's supposed to be capitalism. So the capitalism and democracy streams have not changed at all. Nothing has changed about them. They're still happening. Music stream types: dictatorship, YouTube capitalism, Patreon capitalism, democracy. Man, that was cool. Electro swing. I'm learning. I'm expanding my knowledge of new genres and stuff. Electro swing. Now I know 2 electro swing tracks. Dictatorship are the ones where I just choose the song, but I haven't done one of those in a while. I mean, I've done Mugenics OST stream, but it's hard to call that a dictatorship stream when there was so many people asking for that. That was more like a democracy one. So who's next? Dude, we have another one from this game. I never heard of this game until last week. Under Night in Birth. And then last week someone recommended it on Patreon. And now there's another request from someone else. Interesting. I remember liking this track, the track from this game last week. So we're gonna listen to it. Don't you know Caravan Palace? Is that a famous electro swing track? I do not know it. Am I supposed to know it? Caravan Palace. Is that from a game or from not a game? Because it's from not a game. If it's from not a game, there's very little chances of me knowing it. Oh, an artist. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who that is. Musician. Cool. So we've heard 4 tracks so far. What's everyone's favorite so far? We heard the creepy one with the vocals, Earthbound, Omori, and A Hat in Time. I'm torn. I think I'm gonna go with A Hat in Time. But this one, the first one, Tarantula, the creepy one was very intriguing as well. Tommy says I like Tarantula. Yeah, Venica says A Hat in Time, but I might be biased. So let's listen to the next one. This is Flame and Destiny. From wait, this is Wagner's theme. I just realized. Can you guys see this? Wagner's theme. Is it the Wagner that returned my Dark Souls 3? Wow. This better be a heroic theme. Wow. I already love this. Immediately. And it sounds heroic, dude. It sounds fitting for Wagner. I like to think this is what Wagner was feeling in his heart when he was returning my copy of Dark Souls 3. I had that feeling even from the track from last week, from this game. There's something Nintendo-esque about it. It almost sounds like he could be like a Kirby final boss or something. I don't know if it's the fake violin, Oh! Arlo Baker says, are the songs already chosen previously? Or can I join the Patreon and suggest a song? If you... It's actually a good question. I've never been asked that before. I guess if you join the Patreon, there's no reason not to listen to your track today. You have to go on Patreon, subscribe to one of the tiers that have the power to suggest tracks in the streams, and that's very well explained in the tier descriptions. It's from Music Master up. And then you just DM me on Patreon. I think that's okay. Whoa! Shidex has become a music friend. I just look at my Patreon notifications. Davi, do you want to be swarmed by new suggestions while on stream? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But Patreon is a bigger commitment than just a super chat. So I think I won't be swarmed. I don't think. I don't think I will be swarmed. And I do want like to incentivize people to go on Patreon and sign up. So I think I'm gonna say yes. If you go on Patreon and sign up to one of the tiers that has the stream benefits, and you DM me on Patreon, then I'll listen to your track today. Yeah, midstream. Apple Juice says I doubt many people would go to Patreon for this, for it to be a problem. Yeah, like on the spot is different from super chats, right? Super chat, you just click a thing and you're right there, right? Yeah. So if you want to get into today's stream, be my guest. Go on Patreon. That would be cool. But you guys know what I mean about this song. I don't know if it's the if it's the fake violins, the sampled violins, because Kirby does a lot of that. Kirby uses sample violins, and they do like rock heavy metal sometimes. There's a there's a Nintendo-esque feel to this. A lot of happy chords. There's a sense of heroism to this. Um, is it this one that people said last stream that was a fighting game? Is this a fighting game? If it is, oh yeah, and the title says it. It's a character theme, right? The character theme. So Wagner is probably very heroic of a character. Because the harmony is so... The harmony is so uplifting. Do you know when your next viewer submission stream will be? Next week. Next week. Friday. The guitar reminds me of Bravely Default. Yeah, I mean, I said the Nintendo thing, but there's obviously it sounds kind of JRPG as well. Like, sounds very Japanese. Um, Tom Sai says, Davi, last stream you said the VODs would be Patreon exclusive. I changed my mind. I changed my mind. If it's not abundantly clear already, I reformed my entire Patreon. So there's a lot of things I'm still figuring out. I'm like trying some things, experimenting some things. You know, uh, you know what? A thing, an adjustment I did in last week. The stream was called like Patreon suggestions or something, and there was Patreon big and bold on the thumbnail. And I thought to myself, I think people don't like to see Patreon on the title and the thumbnail, because when you're not on Patreon and you see, oh, this is a Patreon stream, oh, this content doesn't apply to me, there's that kind of feeling. So I removed those things from the title and thumbnail, and now there's more people here, right? Dude, that was a cool track. Very heroic. And it's again a fun blend of video gamey sounding digital samples plus real instruments, which again keeps reminding me of Kirby, because the guitar is real. Big brain, yeah. And that, kids, is behavioral marketing. Yeah, the guitars are real. They're being played by a real human being. But even in unison with the guitars, they put like some synths in, and there's of course the heroic violin. And there's piano as well. I just noticed there's piano. I love this. I keep saying the chord sequences in this track are very heroic. I feel like they're trying to portray Wagner as a good guy. It seems very evident to me. If not a good guy, at least like a guy that has some kind of virtue, or some kind of adventurous spirit. And one of the most heroic chord sequences that I hear. This one. This. Banana. What is that? It's a happy chord, sad chord, sad chord. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so it's full of happy chords. They want to portray this as, again, I feel like it's a good guy. If it's not a good guy, at least it's a guy that is adventurous and like bold and strong, that kind of guy. Exciting kind of guy. His name is Wagner, obviously a hero. I mean, if he is anything like the real life Wagner, he's very heroic. So now we have Atelier Rorona. Dude, I hear a lot of good things about the Atelier series. I have, however, never played any of these games. Rorona, which one is Rorona? Is it one of the old ones or new ones? Because I know this series dates back to the 90s, I think. It's very old. Very old. So which one is this? Is this... Rorona. Oh, 2009. Okay, 2009. What is it? Could be like a Wii game, I guess. Perhaps. Let's listen to it. Quiet piano. Oh. Beautiful. Oh, this rope. PS3 and 3DS according to Wikipedia. This is all real instruments. Dude, it's so cool. It reminds me of Xenoblade. I didn't know they had like rock and heavy metal in Atelier soundtrack. Is this an outlier of a track, or do they have these kinds of tracks in these games? Dude, so beautiful. Acoustic guitar. Acoustic guitar is such a... such a contemplative instrument, I feel like, especially like a solo one like this. And Arlo, thank you very much. Your request will be heard. Your request got in. Dude, so heroic. The rising sequence of happy chords. And Kaling, I see you joining Patreon. If you have a request, just DM me. Whoa! Wow, this actually sounds a little scary, a little intimidating. This is very elucidating. I didn't know anything about these games. Have any of you guys in chat played the Atelier games? Dude, so cool, the piano. Yeah, the solo, they're alternating between the piano. What is this? This sounds like it could be... Yeah, great first impression. This series of games is very famous. I hear about it all the time. But as for this track, like, where would this play? Like, it's so long and varied that I can only imagine this being a credits track. Oh, look. Strings and electric guitar in unison. So beautiful. And the guitar. Long boss fight with multiple phases. Could be as well. Could be. But no, I don't. I'm leaning more towards credits. Because it doesn't feel like looping music to me. It feels like a song that has beginning, middle, and end. There's a progression, right? There's a beginning, middle, and end progression to the music, which is not characteristic of most video game looping music. Kaylin, your suggestion got in. Congratulations. Yeah, hopeful and heroic. Oh, it's a boss fight, really? But look, it also says here on the title that it's an arranged track. So this might be an arrangement of an otherwise looping track. And people were saying before that some of the previous tracks reminded them of Bravely Default. This really reminds me of Bravely Default. Man, it's so beautiful. The violin is so lively, so hopeful. Oh yeah, the guitar's back. I was going to say, the drums, bass, and violin alone is such a nice sound, man. Such a lively, kind of innocent sound. Hopeful. Brass. Yeah, Bravely Default, right? Oh, this is the beginning of the track. They're tying it back to the beginning, but not in like a looping way. Yeah, I mean, it seems very clear to me that this is not an in-game track, it seems, because of this ending. Unless it's a credits track, but as Abkin says, is a boss fight. So it's an arrangement track. So this might be a track that plays in a music album, right? In a, I don't know, something, an arrangement album. Dude, but so cool. I think this is the first time I'm hearing Atelier music. And wow, what a good first impression. Great first impression. I hear about these games all the time. I if I remember correctly, I think they exist since the Super Nintendo or PS1, something like that. I'm actually curious about this series. I wonder if I should play it. But yeah, my favorite part about this track was how lively and how hopeful, especially the violin was. Man, there were some parts with just where the orchestra and the rhythm guitars would quiet down mostly, and it was just like the dancing, hopeful violin, drums, bass, and a little piano in there. Dude, really cool. And that's a kind of ensemble that reminds me a lot of Bravely Default 2. It sounds so light, right? Because when you put on brass and rhythm guitars all together, it sounds more intense, it sounds more intimidating. Dude, really cool. Let me see how we're doing in terms of like of favorites. I already said A Hat in Time was one of my favorites. Dude, but we had a good sequence of straight bangers. The other ones were bangers too. But I feel like this is a little cluster here of my favorites. Hat in Time, Wagner's Theme, and Atelier. So far, little cluster of favorites for me. So next up is Devil May Cry. Wagner's Theme was pretty solid, yeah. I can say Omori was mine. Your favorite? The last one is my favorite for sure, says Apple Juice. So, an ominous bass. Thumbside says, Apkin, is that your suggestion? Apkin is not on Patreon. Builds up slowly, it seems. This is DMC, by the way, the remake. There's a remake? A remake from the first Devil May Cry? I didn't even know that existed. Delirium is here. What's up? Oh, I guess. I mean, he's not here. Hello, Delirium. Or maybe not hello, because you're not here. Don't you mean reboot? Yeah. I know about the reboot. I didn't know there was a remake. Yeah, reboot. This is very slowly building up. They're just holding one note, one bass. Very synthy. There was a melody back there before. I'm glad it's not Buried the Light or Devils Never Cry. Yeah, those ones we hear a lot. Shadik says, hi Davi, just got here. When and how do you submit songs for these streams? It's on Patreon. Just DM me on Patreon. But I saw you became a music friend. Oh, gunshot. Wow, disturbing rhythm. And thank you, Shandex, by the way, for becoming a music friend. To suggest for the streams, you need to be music master or up. But as a music friend, you can make suggestions as well, but just not for the stream. You can make like other kinds of suggestions. It's all very well explained in the tier descriptions of the patron. But just so you know, if you want to suggest for the streams, you need music master or up. Thank you, by the way, Shadex. So now that we're halfway through the song and it just started to pick up speed, they were just holding a drone bass up to this point with like some little details, some like sound design and weird synths. There was a little melody at the beginning. I'm actually, when we finish the song, I'm gonna go back to the beginning to listen to the melody, because there was a very subtle melody at the beginning. Then there was a gunshot, and now there's a sluggish, disturbing kind of rhythm. It feels so heavy and awkward. And hey Davi, are we doing followers picks anytime soon? Next week we're gonna have a capitalism, like a super chat stream next week. Oh, some actual semblance of harmony. The strings. So far, very... Oh, wow. Very kind of shapeless song. Dude, the rhythm goes crazy. I mean, this feels like it could be... I don't know how this game works. This is the reboot, right? But I've played some Devil May Cry. It seems like this could be like an area song that just plays in your fighting dudes. It might actually be interactive now that I think about it. This might be an interactive song. Might be an interactive song, like, now that I think about it. The way it slowly builds up, it starts just like as a drone bass. Then... you know, it feels like they're playing different versions of it almost. So Ibrahim is here. Hey, Ibrahim. He also says, it might be my favorite this stream, quite different. Yeah, it's pretty exotic. It's pretty exotic, especially when he gets going. But my guess, I don't know if I'm right, but my guess is that this is a dynamic music situation where, you know, you're walking around when there's no action or anything. You're listening to this, perhaps, right? You're listening to this, and then some dudes show up, and you start shooting them, and then it's this, you know? Ibrahim says, I'll have to take a nap soon so I can go to the gym. Okay, have a good nap, Ibrahim. And the notes that they are doing, especially on that bass, do 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 do. There's a chromatic rise in them that make them very very tense, very urgent. Signa is here. What's up, Signa? Hello. How are you? Did you have a good week, Signa? And they're still doing interesting. Remember the thing that they were doing before? Do 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 do. They're still doing it, but they're doing it slower and a lot quieter underneath the arrangement. There's it sounds like strings to me, like cello and double basses doing do 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 do. Interesting. It seems like a motive, like a recurring motive in the track. The name of the song, Betrayed, is about a hostage exchange scene. And I think the most impressive part of this song is the percussion. There's so much to it. So many ghost notes. If Giovanni was here, he would say yes to what I just said. Ghost notes is a term in drumming. It means this. That was cool. I just want to go back because there was a melody. There's a very subtle melody at the beginning. Let me try to find it. Yeah, this. It's completely different from everything in the track. Na, 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 na. And it's over. The melody's over already. That's so intriguing. That oh, it's back. The melody's back. Da-na. This build up is so interesting. So slow. Cool track. Yeah, like I said, I think the most impressive thing about this track is the percussion. Even before they get really going, the percussion is really involved. There's a ton of different types of synthy percussion samples and stuff. Very rhythmic music. I feel like for this game, and that was the case even in old school Devil May Cry, they don't want to distract you too much with melodies. Melody is a melody in music is something soulful, right? And emotional. Sometimes you don't want soulful and emotional because the conclusion to the phrase that my brain suggested to me was sometimes you don't want emotional and soulful because that's gay, I feel like that's something that Dante from Devil May Cry would think, like is like his kind of the kind of vibe that they were going for back then. Like Dante is this kind of tough macho guy. I feel like they don't want emotional and soulful in this game, so they create these songs that are very rhythmic and don't have melody because they sound like a husk of yeah, exactly. Flex says sounds accurate to the character. They sound like a husk of physicality, and to have that husk of physicality, you need to develop the percussion a lot. Yeah, so the conclusion from this track is that melodies are gay. Next up, Toho. This is Toho 17, Beast Metropolis. The choirs kind of spiritual arrangement with the choirs, intriguing. And this is one of the newer ones, right? This is 17. Man, I love the choir. This song is pretty quiet. It feels to me like he's holding back on the intensity on the volume. Kind of new, came out in 2019. Even the trumpets, dude. There's something calming about this track. There's something serene about it. Oddly relaxing, yeah. The choirs, like this part here, this part specifically, almost sounds like it could be like a dungeon track. It almost reminds me of Final Fantasy a little bit, like old school, I don't know, Final Fantasy 9, like a dungeon somewhere with these kinds of choirs, right? Just arpeggios and choirs. Dude, that's so interesting. Oddly relaxing, and is looping now, I think. And he's using the Toho sequence as per usual. It's funny how many different vibes he's capable of creating with basically mostly the same chords every time. Like he's using a variation of the Toho sequence. It's not like the exact like 3 chords from every time. He's using some. There's a particular disturbing chord there that he fit in the middle in between some of the chords of the Toho sequence. But aside from that, it's very standard. And he's able to create such a different spiritual vibe. Tom Sai says, by the way, sorry to bother you coming back to the orchestral Toho discussion. You didn't really properly credit the circle that made the performance. Maybe you should put the link. Sure. I mean, if you do that, I can do that. But if you do that, I can pin it. I can pin the comment. Sure. And it's interesting. This sounds like a sax sample that he's using. I don't think non-mods can post links, right? Yeah, but he can like say their name. Even when the music gets fast like this, it's still serene. That's the power, I feel like, of instrumentation. Because the tempo is too fast. The tempo is too fast. The chords are mostly the same as always. But the instruments, especially the choir is still there. It's mostly on the background now. But different sounds, different instruments make such a huge difference. Greg is leaving. Bye bye, Greg. William says, this track is funny because most of the tracks in this game are way more intense, even by Toho standards. Interesting. Man, I've heard a lot of Toho tracks here in the channel, and admittedly I don't remember all of them, but I feel like this is the deepest sounding, the most serene, spiritual sounding track I remember from Toho. Tom Sai says, here's the link of Kokyo Active Needs YouTube channel. Thank you, thank you. Let me go there actually. I'm gonna bookmark it so I can credit them. In the description and stuff. Yeah, man, I actually want to listen to that dungeon part that I talked about. My favorite part. Where is it? Yeah, this. I've never heard something like this from Toho. Am I wrong? Am I just ignorant on Toho? Or is this unusual? This kind of stuff. Such a different vibe. And this is called... This is a stage theme. So while this is playing, you're shooting dudes, right? You're super right about the Final Fantasy vibe, right? Right? This sounds like it could have come out from Final Fantasy 9 or something. Tom Sai says, Beast Metropolis is good. It's probably my favorite of this stream, though I already knew it. Very surprising. And this is another new thing. Sounds to me like sax samples. Intriguing. Stage themes are very different to boss themes, and you can often hear it. Instead of telling about a character, it's often depicting a place or an event that taking place in that game. Cool. Intriguing. Now we have Locus's suggestion, which is a Limbus Company track. It's called Tian Tian. Oh, these ones have lyrics. Yeah, this is so cute. Wait, it has lyrics. La la lulu. La lu la lu. Do 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 do. It reminded me of a Japanese soda commercial. Interestingly enough, the kanji subtitles are in Chinese, it seems, not Japanese. Yeah, banger. This is a banger. Like, this is immediately one of my favorites. Lifelong Party. Bad manners. Yeah, this is not Japanese, this is Chinese. Afghan says, I recognize the Chinese immediately. I recognize because of the subtitles. Man, the vocals are so good that I'm not even paying attention to the instrumental. Interesting, very textbook resolution there. Sequence of happy chords. The song is in a sad key, but they're using a lot of happy chords. So there's that mixture of melancholy, but at the same time it's playful and kind of childish. Ibrahim says, I'm decent at recognizing Chinese even though I don't know any Chinese. Same with Korean. I feel like me too. Because Julia watches a lot of K-dramas. So I feel like I came to know, to recognize Korean. And Japanese, of course, I know a lot better. And then Chinese is the other one, you know. Dude, the guitars, I'm just starting to notice the instrumental. Listen to the guitars, can you hear? Funky guitars, super rhythmic. Dude, that's so intriguing. We have to listen to this one again. Okay, we listen to this one again. I paid a lot of attention to the vocals this time. This time I'm going to pay more attention to the instrumentals. Right at the end, I started paying more attention. There was a beautiful piano, of course, but dude, towards the end, the funky rhythmic guitars. Dude, so cool. Did they say PlayStation? Dude, I heard the same thing. But I looked at the lyrics and it was Rest Assured. But I was like, for a second I was like, wait, is this a PlayStation ad or something? Abkin says, this might be Cantonese, but don't quote me on that. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Check this out, Abkin. Let me pay attention to the instrument. Weird synths. You know what's weird about this? And I was noticing this in the first listen through. Where's the bass? The bass is weird in this track. I don't hear like a traditional kind of bass guitar sound in this. Pin it. Let's pin it. It's pinned. Oh no, the new pin is awful. I'm not gonna pin it. Let's just leave it there just for a little bit, just to annoy Abkin. But then I'm gonna remove it. Dude, the new pin that pins to the lower side of chat is awful. I hate it. Abkin says saved. Yeah, you've been saved by YouTube's horrible UI. Yeah, the guitars are here. That's so interesting, man, with the bass. I'm intrigued by this. There's no bass. There's no bass guitar. That's incredibly exotic. I feel like the bass, like harmonically, is being done by strings or a synth. There's like a sustained strings, like synth sound that is doing the bass, but there's no bass guitar. So that kind of thickness, that kind of intensity of the bass guitar is not there. So it feels like the song is floating. There's nothing underneath, right? That's such an interesting effect. That's why when you hear the song, there's like a floaty effect. It feels airy. Cause the foundation of the song, the bass guitar, that kind of meaty substance in the lower register is not there. Then there's the piano. And again, they're doing happy chords, even though it's a sad key. Now there's a little speech kind of part. Bananas? Is that what she said? Bananas. Yeah, can you guys hear the low synth? It's doing the bass of the song, but it's not a bass guitar. It sounds very smooth compared to a bass guitar. And now the bass is being done by the piano, right? And of course, the kick drum as well on the drums is huge. It's very bassy, so it fills some of that missing space from the missing bass guitar. That's so interesting. Cool. Dude, this is my favorite from the stream. So after this track, we're gonna go into we're gonna go into the suggestions of people that joined during the stream. La 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 la. Doritos, Doritos. Doritos. I like when she says Doritos. So the next track is Pepper Steak. Doritos, Doritos. Hold up. I have to set this up because these tracks are not in the playlist. Will this work? Let me see. Wait, did you guys see my recommendations? There's a funny one in there. Let me see if he shows up again. Yeah, this one is funny. Are you guys seeing this? Japanese shirtless man. Dude, it's a great song. It's a great song. Yeah, now is Off. Pepper Steak from Off. Okay? That's what we're hearing. Wow. Crazy percussion. Oh. You guys can hear it? I was just bobbing my head to absolute silence. I muted it a little bit because yeah, now you guys can hear it. Davi moment? Dude, this is not even a gaming stream. You guys are gonna do Davi moments on me. What a weird track. It sounds like they're using they're looping a sample of another song into this, and that's what it sounds like to me. They're sampling. This is the Casual Fight song. I don't know if that's what it is, but it is what it sounds like to me. It sounds to me like they picked sounds like a like orchestral song. Like a wind orchestra. They sampled it. They sampled it, right? They looped a few segments and like made new music out of it. That's what it sounds like to me. There's drums as the percussion, but there's also a lot of weird percussion with pieces of metal and stuff. It's a normal encounter theme. I hear a lot about this game. There's bells and stuff. Dude, what a weird track. Weird track. Here at the beginning, you can hear the sample very, very well. I don't know if you guys are getting what I mean by sample, and it is kind of confusing because the word sample is used for a lot of different things in music. Now, what I'm talking about is when people take another song and they cut it into a million pieces. They loop it, they pitch shift it, they speed it up, they slow it down, and create new music out of it. You know, sampling in that sense. It feels like that's what they're doing here. They took some kind of song. It sounds like an old orchestral song. Not exactly orchestral, but like it sounds like a wind band or something. and they're sampling it like crazy. They're cutting it and looping it. Oh, look! Arlo says it's heavily inspired by Undertale. There are like 3 different sample loops used. There's a video somewhere on YouTube that goes over all the samples. So I was right. Interesting. I was right. Toby Fox even worked on the soundtrack for the remake of this game. Interesting. Wow. Yeah, it felt very evident to me. There's a kind of effect that you can only get by doing these kinds of samples with weird old music. Yeah, and then there's the weird percussion. Later on, there's normal drums, but this sounds like just weird pieces of metal. And the way they're doing the sampling here, they are absolutely obliterating the musicality of the original piece. I mean, I don't know the original piece, but I assume it didn't sound anything like this because it sounds nonsensical musically. But obviously, they're doing this on purpose to create a weird ass song, right? Exactly. Signa says it keeps feeling like he's building up to something and then it goes nowhere. That's the absence of functional harmony. You know, the thing I talk about in my videos all the time, you know, building tension, releasing tension, a kind of storytelling in music where you go somewhere, you start you start low stakes and low tension, then you build tension, you go to a climax, and then you release the tension. Here they're cutting random pieces of the music and gluing it together in a nonsensical way, so you lose that sense of functional harmony. But of course, they're doing it intentionally. I assume. I have to assume, and they're doing it. I mean, if their intention is to create a weird ass song, this is indeed a weird ass song. So, congratulations to them. Yeah, exactly. It sounds like an old recording. Off is a weird ass game. I hear a lot about this game. The drums, I assume the drums are from these guys, like from the game, right? They did the drums. The sample is everything else. Yeah, Arlo says Off is a weird ass game, so only natural for it to have weird ass music. So now we're gonna go to the next one from the other person that joined Patreon during the stream. It's a Yakuza 0 song. So let's go next up. And guys, we're about to end the stream. So this is the last track. So before we end it, let me just shill my Patreon a little bit because this is a new thing. Not everyone knows about it. Guys, this is a new series of live streams that I'm doing on our Patreon. I have completely reformed my Patreon. The thing that was bothering me the most about it is that my Patreon was very random. You know, you people were paying me for a chance to get a video made. That was bothering me. So in the new system in our Patreon that has been completely overhauled, you get guaranteed requests, which are these ones in the stream. So if you want to request tracks like these for the next streams, get on Patreon. From the tier Music Master and up, you get to participate in the streams. But even below Music Master, there's like other cool suggestions that you can do. So yeah, join Patreon. It's cool. It's fun. I'm excited for it. It's been, it was kind of stale. Now I've been doing these new things, and there's new people joining, so I'm excited. I'm excited to do something Patreon related every week. Abkin says, never played any Yakuza games, but I've heard a lot about Zero. I've heard about all of them. I feel like it might be a good game to learn Japanese from. Right? Yeah, Yakuza. It's such an intimidating series, I feel like, though. Because there's so many of them. And they're all so crazy. But I got a bunch of requests for Yakuza music. So let's listen to this. Oh. Oh. 10 score, 10 score. Dude, so cool, so cool. There's a feeling of a ballad, something like romantic and adventurous and thrilling. Lysander, what's up? Dude, the solo acoustic guitar. Oh wait, it's actually an electric guitar. Dude, the guy's soloing. He's pouring his heart out on the guitar. Dude, really cool song. Oath of Enma. This is probably for a story segment, I would assume. Oh. Dude, piano. I'm really a sucker for these kinds of piano arrangements in rock music. More guitar. Interesting. It started out as a more kind of old school ballad to me. Now it sounds more modern. There was a shift there. And it's good. Might beat Beast Metropolis. Yeah, this one is good. And the slow tempo of this makes it sound momentous. That's a really interesting effect that you can have in songs. Slow the tempo down to make everything feel more important, right? It almost looks like one of those moments in movies where everything is going slow motion. It gives more importance to that moment, right? When you slow things down in music, even if there's fast things happening on screen, that moment, because the music is so slow, feels more important, more momentous. It's like everything is going on slow motion, and the scale, the importance of those events is like multiplied. Apple Juice says that tracks. Am I onto something? It feels like a story track to me. It feels like a story track. It's too emotional, too slow, like too momentous to be just like any fighting track, any action kind of track, I would say. But I don't know. I've never played this game. Dun, dun, dun. They're using, again, much like the Limbus Company song, they're in a sad key, which creates melancholy and drama, but they're using a lot of happy chords, which makes it heroic and hopeful. The song is from the last story beat. The guy with the eye patch from Majima, right? Interesting. It sounds like a story song. Man, and listen to these moments of introspection here with the guitar. We had a lot of good acoustic guitar today in the stream. Ten score. I want to go back because I feel like the music was different at the beginning and there was a shift in the middle. At the beginning, it felt like there was a sense of a ballad, an old school ballad. And then it became more modern. But throughout the whole song, that thing that I talked about of the slow tempo, it seems like I can almost see the scene going in slow motion, right? Something important, something momentous happening. And of course, like I said, sad key, which creates drama, and happy chorus, which creates adventure and hopefulness. I think I know what it is. This beginning doesn't have the electric guitar, the modern sounding electric guitar. It's just acoustic guitar. Man, so cool, so cool. Mohammed is here. Hey, Mohammed. 10 score. They use a lot of drama. Very nice solo. The song also works in a cyclical manner where it also keeps going back to the same home chord over and over again. It keeps resolving, building tension, resolving, building tension, resolving. That I feel like that contributes to the sense of high stakes. Because there's a lot of small climaxes. Yeah, this is the shift. From here on out, the music sounds more modern to me. The guitars come in. They add intensity, right? They act as a little climax. Guys, so this is the last track of the day. Dude, I'm really enjoying it. Like, honestly, I'm super duper enjoying these new streams. Zyra says, my favorite instrumental song in Yakuza 0. Man, I have to play these games. Yeah, and you said instrumental. I know there are songs with vocals, right, in Yakuza. I know. It's like meme songs. Tina says, I have time for them too. Man, and it's so much more chill when I have time to go over the songs and actually pay attention and stuff. Because there's fewer tracks to listen to. Like today, I think we heard like 9 tracks or something. Last week we heard 8 tracks. So there's a lot more time to talk to you guys, to listen to the song again if you want. Dude, so good. This part is so good. This is the point where it loops. I didn't notice this at first. But this is looping here. I haven't heard the rest of the stream, but I'm going to guess the song was inadvertently saved as best for last. No, actually no. It was just last because the person who suggested it, which is Zyra, they just joined during the stream. They joined Patreon during the stream. Last week we heard 7 tracks. Exactly. Dude, an entire stream for 7 tracks. That's awesome. Because then in the other kinds of streams, the democracy streams and the capitalism streams, I feel like is I'm always on a rush, to listen to as many tracks as I can. If I talk over the tracks, people get mad because I talked over their tracks that they suggested. If I talk in between tracks, people get mad because they want to get to their track quickly, right? And so we listen to like 30, 40 tracks in one stream. But it's like you're listening in bulk, right? You're listening to like a million of them. And we're not taking the time to do this. Yeah, this is more chill, man. I really like this. I like this new format. And the good thing is that the streams where we listen to a ton of music in bulk, they're not going away. We just now have this, I would say, more premium kind of format where the songs get more attention. There's less songs per stream. A lot of bops. Guys. Davi, would you consider gifting a sub to the requester of your favorite song? You mean like a YouTube member making the requester a member? I don't think I can do that. I don't have the power to do that, which is a shame because I wish I had. But YouTube doesn't let me do that. But guys, what was your favorite today? Man, this one was really good. But I think it doesn't beat the Limbus Company one. Yeah, Tian Tian. That's my favorite as well. Like that was so enriching, even from a music production perspective for me. The no bass thing. I know these are like music nerd things that maybe you guys don't care about, but the no bass thing was legitimately fascinating to me in that song. Yakuza, Limbo, and Tarantula. Mohammed says, I saw you can recognize chords just by hearing them. How can I learn them too? Learn music theory, learn the chords, and then just listen to a ton of music. Figure out the chords in a ton of different music. Learn to play a ton of different music in your instrument of choice, piano or guitar or whatever. And just spend 30 years doing that. That's how I did it. Yosu says, this and DMC. Zaire says, I'm glad you all enjoyed the Yakuza song. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. My favorite is Tian Tian, or Tian Tian. Yeah, Tian Tian from Limbus Company. That was a fantastic stream. Shadek says, I might cancel the gaming channel membership to upgrade to Music Master tier. That would be cool. That's fine with me. Because like I said before, Shidex, now you have a guaranteed music requests on the streams. So it's up to you. Guys, I think this is as far as we go today. Thank you for hanging out. We're gonna have a super chat music stream next week. It's a different format than this one, but still fun. We're gonna listen to more songs and pay less attention to each individual song, but we listen to more music. So that's fun too. I'll see you guys there. And again, about the gaming streams, I was talking about that to Abkan at the beginning of the stream. I'm taking a little bit of a break because I don't know. I've been pushing myself too hard, and I went to the doctor and I found some stomach things that are caused by stress. It's nothing serious, but I think I have to take it easy for a while. So I'm gonna take the August off from gaming, and then we'll see. Maybe we'll come back after that. I have the Super Nintendo setup right here, so we're ready to come back. And guys, it is time to say goodbye to me in the chat so I can say bye right back to you. And we'll see each other on next week's stream. Raspberry says, "Uh-oh." Yeah, it's nothing serious, Raspberry. It's just working too many hours and too many days. Yosu, bye bye. Shidex, bye bye. Raspberry, Tommy, Signa, Abkin. Did I say Abkin twice? Flex, Raspberry, Tomsai, Lysander, Mohammed, Zaira. Bye bye, guys. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye bye. Apple juice.